Hello, and welcome to this overview of new releases that were published in December of 2022 that I actually read. I'm Olivia, your new favorite resource for book recommendations you can easily screenshot, and you're watching Random Olive Reads. First up, we have How to Win a Wallflower by Samara Parrish, which is book 3 of the Rebels with a Cause series. We have our Duke's sister, Charlotte, who is the younger sister of the main guy from book 2, and she's in her fourth season and uninterested in any suitors. She mostly spends her time helping her brother's political causes and charitable causes. Charlotte is the ultimate do gooder social butterfly, and definitely not the wallflower in this story. The wallflower title goes to our guy John, who is Charlotte's brother's friend who has spent the past 10 years away from the London scene, working on his various scientific inventions. He's back in town, though, because his older brother died, leaving him as the new Viscount and in a whole hell of a lot of debt. John needs to figure out how to pay off all of these debts so he can go back to his very solitary lifestyle in a cabin in the woods. Now, Charlotte, of course, has had a crush on John for years and years, so she decides to help him with his debt problem. They need to work together and they grow closer, even though our dear brother Duke has already warned each person away from the other. We'll see how that actually turns out. Now we have A Wicked Game by Kate Bateman. This is book 3 of the Ruthless Rival series, and the Davies and Montgomery families have been rivals for centuries, but it's really a friendly sort of rivalry because the kids played together growing up, and they mostly just bickered with each other. When Morgan is ready to go out to sea, Harriet gives him a reason to come back by allowing him 3 kisses if he survives and returns. A few years later, he survives torture and imprisonment and wants only one thing when he returns. He wants Harriet's hand in marriage. However, with their history of fighting and daring each other and betting each other, he knows that she won't believe him if he just proposes outright. So he plans to seduce her and wear her down. This book was fun and low angst between our two rivals, aside from a few little brushes with dastardly villains. Overall, I love seeing Morgan's scheme to bring Harriet into his arms and her trying to resist him. And I love that both of their families were supportive and knew that these two loved each other even before they did. Next, we have Cinderella and the Duke by Lydia Drake. This is a standalone novel, and Julia is the Cinderella in the story, escorting her younger stepsister to a ball while her stepmother is ill. This is Julia's one chance to find a husband since her stepmother refuses to let Julia go to any balls. While protecting a rake from being compromised by a married woman and then protecting him from being challenged to a duel, she kisses him and then runs away, thinking she's ruined all of her chances. When the rake, our Duke Gregory, comes to call the next day with her lost slipper, she proposes a marriage of convenience to him. He helps her get out from under her stepmother's control, and she helps him avoid the lecherous women of the ton. Both of these people are deeply insecure. They play an emotionally detached role, mostly to protect themselves from being hurt. However, they have great chemistry together and for sure enjoy each other's company. I really enjoyed this debut novel from this author. I'm looking forward to seeing what else she writes. And the last new release that I read this month was The Runaway Viscount by Darcy Burke. This is book 3 of the Matchmaking Chronicles series. Juliana and Lucas meet at an inn during a snowstorm and have a tryst on their second night there. The next morning, Lucas has disappeared without a goodbye. Fast forward 2 years later, they meet again at a matchmaking house party and reconnect. However, there's a little smidge of drama when Lucas runs away yet again for some untold emergency. But hey, at least he left a note this time. This one was a pretty quick read, relatively low angst, a cute little second chance between our two main characters. And here are a few other books that were published in December that I have not read yet, but they are definitely on my list to read. Have Fell in Love with an Earl by Anna Bradley. This is book 3 of the Games Earl Play series. Then The Marriage List by Ella Quinn is book 1 of the Worthington Bride series. Never Cross a Highlander by Lisa Rain looks to be a standalone novel. And The Duke's Bartered Mistress by Caroline Lee is book 2 of the Surprise Dukes series. Thank you so much for watching this video. Links to all the books I have talked about are in the description box. Like and subscribe so you don't miss future videos, and you can follow me on Instagram at randomolive.